"Can we share your fries, sir?" a single mom asked at the cafeana where she spoke to a billionaire. The question hit him like a stone to the chest. "Can we share your fries, sir?" Ethan Hale looked up from his plate, stunned into silence. A small voice, soft shaky head, pulled him out of his own thoughts. But when he lifted his gaze, it wasn't the child who spoke. It was the mother. She stood there, shoulders slumped under the weight of exhaustion, her clothes carefully cleaned but clearly worn from too many washes. Beside her, a little boy, no older than 6, clutched her hand, his eyes drifting between the plate of fries and Ethan's face, torn between hunger and politeness. Ethan-billionaire, CEO, man who could buy the entire cafe without checking his bank balance, felt completely unprepared. "Are you sure?" he asked quietly. The woman swallowed hard, her cheeks flushing. "Yes, I mean, only if you don't mind. My son hasn't eaten since yesterday afternoon. There was a mistake with my paycheck," and her voice cracked. "We're just trying to get by." Ethan pushed his plate toward them, but he didn't speak, not yet, because suddenly, out of nowhere, something inside him twisted painfully, and memories he'd buried decades ago came crashing back. A man who thought he'd escaped. His past Ethan had grown up with nothing. His mother had worked cleaning jobs until her hands cracked, and even then she saved every penny to make sure he ate first. He knew the sting of hunger. He knew what it was to pretend you weren't starving just to spare your mother's tears. That boy beside the woman, he had the same hollow eyes Ethan used to see in the mirror, but Ethan had spent years moving forward, building companies, burying wounds, becoming someone powerful enough that the world would never pity him again. He'd sworn to himself he would never relive those memories. Yet here they were, and they were staring right at him. "I'm Maya, and this is Lucas." The mother's voice trembled slightly as she introduced herself. "We won't take long. I just didn't want him to go to bed hungry again." Lucas reached for a fry so gently, so carefully, as if afraid it would be taken away. He whispered, "Thank you," before eating it like it was the best food he had tasted in weeks. Ethan's heart cracked clean in two. He waved a hand. "Please sit. Both of you." Maya hesitated. "I don't want to intrude." "You seemed busy." "Busy." He had been staring at spreadsheets and reading market forecasts, things that suddenly felt painfully insignificant. He shook his head. "You're not intruding at all." They sat, and for a moment, Ethan simply watched them eat slowly, gratefully, sharing even the tiny fries piece by piece. Mother giving the bigger ones to her son while pretending she preferred the smaller crumbs. He'd seen that act before. He'd lived it. Challenges behind a fragile smile. Eventually, Maya wiped her hands on a napkin, as if embarrassed by her own hunger. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "I'm not usually like this. I don't ask for help." "What happened?" Ethan asked gently. She hesitated, but something in Ethan's tone, something warm, sincere, made her sigh. "I lost my job 6 months ago. I was a receptionist at a dental clinic. They downsized. After that, everything spiraled. I've been cleaning houses when I can, but some weeks there's nothing. Rent is overdue. My sister was babysitting today, but she had to work a double shift, so I had to take Lucas with me to the job that never confirmed me. We've been walking since morning." She forced a smile, but tears gathered at the corners of her eyes. Today just wasn't our day. Ethan stared, his throat tightened, because her story was his story, or at least, what his life should have been. If a kind stranger hadn't helped him once, he took a breath. "Maya, what would you do if someone gave you a real chance? A stable job? Something consistent?" Her eyes widened in confusion. "I'd take it. I'd work hard. Harder than anyone, I promise." "No promises needed," Ethan said quietly. A door she never expected. Ethan reached into his bag and pulled out a simple business card. No logo, no title, just a number. "This isn't for charity," he said. "It's an opportunity. My company is opening a new administrative office in the city next month. We need people, responsible, determined people." Maya stared at the card as though it were glowing. "I'm not qualified for anything fancy," she whispered. "You're qualified for more than you think," Ethan replied. He smiled softly. "There's also something else. I want to cover the next 3 months of your rent. Enough to get you back on your feet." Maya froze. Then she shook her head fiercely. "No. No, I can't accept money from a stranger. I didn't ask for." "You didn't ask," Ethan said. "You simply cared enough about your son to face humiliation rather than let him go hungry. That's strength, not weakness." Tears spilled down her cheeks. Lucas looked up, confused, wiping her face with his small hands. Ethan swallowed the tightness in his throat. He wasn't usually emotional, not anymore. But today felt different. Revelation in the quiet eventia. Maya asked the question she had avoided from the moment they sat down. What do you do for a living?" Ethan hesitated. Then he answered gently. "I run Hale Industries." She blinked. "Once, twice, you mean?" The company that he nodded. Her jaw dropped. "You're Ethan Hale?" Suddenly the cafe seemed too small. "I didn't recognize you," she whispered. I spoke to a billionaire like that." "Oh my God. I'm so sorry." "Don't apologize," Ethan said firmly. "I'm just a person, no different from you." But Maya couldn't stop trembling. "Why? Why would someone like you help someone like me?" Ethan looked at Lucas, then at her. "Because someone once helped someone like me." The promise and the message. Ethan walked them outside, bought them a warm dinner, and made sure they reached home safely. Before leaving, he crouched down to Lucas's height. "You take care of your mom," he said gently. Lucas nodded with all the seriousness of a soldier receiving a mission. Maya hugged Ethan, then with grateful desperation, "Thank you," she whispered. "You didn't just feed us today, you gave us hope again." Ethan closed his eyes for a moment. "No," he said quietly. "You already had hope. You just needed someone to notice." As he walked away, something inside him eased, the ghost of the hungry boy he once was, finally at peace. 1 month later, Maya walked into her new office, hair neatly tied, wearing her first new outfit in years. She looked confident, steady, strong. Lucas had a full lunchbox for school, and Ethan standing in the hallway, observing quietly smiled, with pride. Because the world didn't change because someone gave money, it changed because someone gave belief. Final message for your YouTube ending in life. We will never know what battles someone is fighting or how close they are to breaking, but small kindness, a moment of compassion, a chance can transform someone's entire future. Never underestimate the power you hold. Sometimes the smallest act can rewrite a whole life story.